Hey, this is Scott JARVIE, and good morning. Just kidding, it's not morning, it's like 12:30 already, and this is my first video of the day because I started late. I just packed up my bag. I got a tripod, 1424, 2470, 7200, an extra flash, a flashlight, some nuts, some extra water, and I am ready to go for this little journey and the next. I am at Lower Antelope Canyon. So if you saw the video yesterday, I was last at Lake Powell and then I disappeared because I went to a hotel and worked for like 8-9 hours straight, checking up internet, playing around a little bit, but mostly editing the vlog. So I got all 5 ready, and that was what you saw last week. And I didn't leave until checkout 11, and my friends are coming, and we're gonna meet together for sunset at Horseshoe Bend, and then come here to Antelope for some night stuff. We talked to a lady, and she'll take us up to Upper Antelope for a really good fee. And here we are. There's the power station up near Page. Yeah, so that's the deal, is that they just give you a photo pass if you have a DSLR or a regular SLR medium format with a tripod. Otherwise, you go in a tour and go for about an hour. It's the same price. Kind of cool. It's actually one of those situations when they're nicer to the photographers. You get 2 hours as a photographer or 1 hour on the guided tour. Here's a tour we're kind of following. I'll just hang back a little bit. Let's see, hopefully I can fit down there with my backpack on. It's kind of big, so it was easier than I thought to get the bag down in here. I just carried it with my hand, dropped it when it was a little bit wider, and then just carried it through here and carried it down the ladder just fine. So now we're down inside, and it's a lot bigger than it looked from outside. Okay, just letting the other group get ahead of me for a little bit, getting my camera out, checking the exposures, realizing I probably need to get the shutter release cord that I definitely brought, because I'll be around 1/5 of a second a lot of the time, and I'm going to use the polarizer just because it'll help maybe get a little more red, and I'm definitely putting it on my own white balance because it's going to get confused by all this red rock. So that's that, and then I'll be carrying it down separately, and I need to charge my batteries on my phone. I wish I kept it charged more often. Alright, when you're in here in Antelope Canyon, you are looking basically for the play of light. So if something is kind of darker, and my camera does adjust to the light quite a bit, so this side is much darker, you can kind of see it'll end up being really nice, but that much of a dynamic range will be a little difficult. You can really pick up the subtle differences in the light play here. And especially when there's not a lot of light coming through, you'll get some good glows, good red glows. So back over here, I was getting a few, and then I like to come far enough to the side where we're not getting a hot spot right there. Anyways, a bunch of people coming through, not tons. I mean, just there was a group of 7 or 8 people. And that was fine. It was kind of fun to talk to them a little bit, and now I'm by myself. But this sound really travels quite a bit, so I'm sure they probably could still hear me, even though they went down there for a little bit. The guide was even saying that they could get up here on this rock and get a picture, which was kind of cool, nice of her. And then we're going to go down into a much darker area and see how that goes. So we keep on going darker and darker, and even, you know, I haven't been standing on this ladder here. Though if I come over here, man, I really want to get my 14 to 24. I was just about to do a video and telling you guys that I see this as a kind of a zoomed in area. 24 to 70, I've been using 24, but then I've been doing a lot of 70 where I'd zoom in and just get portions. I think this is a great place to have someone getting into photography to come here and to really explore lighting and framing and shapes and lines and everything. And because you can come right here and see something and then move over here and then just go, oh, dang, I needed 14 to 24 to get all of this. So I think I am going to bring up the 1424 I was using the polarizer, and that was kind of nice because it got me into a lower shutter speed, which prevented much shake. So into 3 seconds instead of like 1 second. And there is some like reflections off the rock that you can minimize with the polarizer. It's not a huge deal in here, but it can help. And it does seem to warm things up, but maybe that's just my eyes deceiving me. Okay, time to switch to the 14 to 24. Here's another little way to use your tripod legs. Extend them out like that. Okay, I've got to get my bag out of the picture because I got the super wide on now. This should be pretty cool. How to get this out of the picture. I don't know if this is necessarily a place for a kind of overweight, out of shape person. There's some pretty thin passageways. And then there's some big openings too, like this little area. Well, bigger area. And in these cases, you got some nice views backwards. So when you're walking around, always make sure to look backwards. And you get some really cool things. There's some really neat pockets of nice light right in there. So I switched back to the 70 or 24 to 70. I'm almost tempted to even go to 7200 because I haven't used it yet and get some little spots in there. The looking up ones, I'm not really doing those a lot, though I'm sure there's some good opportunities. We're going to come back and do some night stuff at a different canyon, at the upper Antelope. This is lower. All right, hey, I found a spot I really like. We're down just a little bit, so we're able to be really low to the ground without having to like lay on the ground. And I think this is really cool. If you're wondering why I'm looking like a rap star, is because I have to put my head up next to the camera. I didn't want the bill in the way, and then when I go look back, the bill hits, you know, my backpack. So I have it to the side because I'm gangsta. I'm not really gangster. Just in case you were frightened for a moment. The rumors are not true. Scott JARVIE is not a gangster. Hey, so this vlog has lots of tips and cool things about the Antelope Canyon, the lower Antelope Canyon. Since I'm here, I've been telling you a bunch of things. You've already heard a bunch. But if you want to hear a bunch more, just about the Antelope Canyon, I did a review just a few minutes ago here of some of my first impressions and thoughts and kind of getting started in the Antelope Canyon, what you may want to bring if you want a photographer, and some thoughts so that you don't have to spend all that time that I did looking and researching and trying to figure out the best things to do. So I will notify you on my Facebook or Twitter and stuff like that when that review comes out. And if you have tips and thoughts about this location before I put out that review, go ahead and put them in the comments. All right, so one of the guides is playing the flute for everyone else. That's nice of him. So I get to listen to it as he came down and they passed me. So that's the third group. And I'm still just trying out different things, seeing if I want to just go back up the way I came. But I only have like 30 minutes, so that may not be possible. I may just walk on the outside and head to the other canyon. All right, so I made it to the end of Lower Antelope. So I made it to the end of Lower Antelope Canyon. You go a little bit further, and there's a big drop-off and a pool underneath it, and it's for canyoneering people for sure. And so we go up this ladder now. I'm not going to go back the way I came because I ran out of time. It's 10 minutes till 3, 10 minutes till my pass is up, and 10 minutes till the next tour leaves to go to, the last tour leaves to go to Upper Antelope. So I don't think I'm doing that one. That's all right, I'm doing that one later today. Anyways, right? This is quite the ladder to get back up. But we did go pretty far down. 2 hours is pretty good. a little bit extra than 2 hours. That is what's really good. And I had a couple extra than that. So if you go, just so you know, they're probably going to give you a pass that's every half hour. So if you leave at 12:30, it'll be good till 2:30. So if you leave at 12:45, it'll probably be good till 3. I never use my 70 to 200. Just 24 to 7, about 80-90% of the time. And once or twice with the 14 to 24. And another thing is, you go by yourself, no tips really, because you're by yourself. You're going to tip yourself. So the canyon turns into that. Not as exciting. When you get out, where do you go? Well, my guess is you follow the smokestacks. Makes it pretty easy. I think one of the coolest aspects of this is that you just can't tell that it's there. Yeah, I would be hiking around up on this trail and nothing. Who knows? So have they all been discovered? Are there any better than this one? More photogenic? Are there any out there that are just like super awesome but pretty difficult to get to? Any of the ones that they do canyoneering just like look like this but better? This one has stairs. That makes it pretty easy and nice and convenient. Does cost a bunch. So, I don't know. What do you think? Which ones are more photogenic? And how much more difficult are they to get through? And park right next to?
I think this is kind of fun about Page, Arizona. If you saw that church, and then here's another church, St. David's, and there's a Lutheran church coming up, and a religious preschool, and then an LDS church, and then this is got to be Methodist, and then a First Assembly of God. Look at all that. That is so funny. This is the part of town on Sundays that's busy. Lake Powell Church of the Nazarene, First Baptist. I don't know, man. There's another one. First Baptist. Another First Baptist? Yeah. So, that's Page, Arizona. Kind of funny, huh?